Doobie-doo, 8:32 here on a beautiful Friday. I love welcoming guests into the studio. I feel like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. It's kind of cool. I'll put my sweater on and my sneakers and all of that. And I have the good fortune of speaking to a community friend and somebody I know all too well because I frequent his business. And it's pretty awesome. I get to welcome into the TSA studios here on this Friday morning from Vermont Hempicurean, the Vermont Grow Barn, and opening on Monday, the Vermont Bud Barn. I get to say good morning to Scott Sparks. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Ian. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
You got it. Get right on that microphone so we can hear that voice, because I know you haven't been talking enough every single day for the past how many months, huh?
Right. I've been talking quite a bit lately, getting ready.
Are you getting ready? Now, let's obviously Monday is a big day for you. I think big doesn't even do everything that you have done justice in terms of how important Monday is. But let's talk about Monday and how long you have kind of worked to see this to fruition.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming for me. I turned 65 this year, so it's been a long road with cannabis, but I opened up my first business almost 5 years ago, Vermont Hempicurean, with the ultimate goal of eventually having a legal retail cannabis store when that was allowed in Vermont. And we're finally here, so it's a pretty incredible day.
And I know how important community is to you, and I think we get the opportunity today to remind everybody how important community is to you and how these businesses, Vermont Bud Barn, Vermont Grow Barn, and Vermont Hempicurean, are going to be an established part of this community.
Yes, well, starting with Vermont Hempicurean from the beginning, I bought directly from the Vermont hemp farmers and producers that made the CBD products. And I plan on continuing that with the cannabis business. I'll be buying directly from the Vermont cannabis growers, but on top of that, I also use a lot of local businesses, if you want to call it that, or local artisans. Examples might be I use local artists for various projects in my business. I also use ancillary businesses that all get supported off of my primary businesses.
And I want to remind everybody that 1% of in-store taxes that Vermont Bud Barn collects will go back directly to the town of Brattleboro, right?
Absolutely. So that's certainly a big part of it. And Brattleboro was lucky that they had that 1% tax already in place because they wouldn't let towns put it in after the fact. On top of that, there's a 14% cannabis tax in the state, and the state will be giving a good chunk of that back to the town as well.
I want to let people know that if you haven't had the opportunity to go out and visit these businesses out there in West B, whether it's Vermont Grow Barn, Vermont Hempicurean, or the soon-to-be open on Monday, Vermont Bud Barn, it's just a beautiful location. That barn is awesome.
Yeah, I love being in this barn. When I was looking for a place to expand my business, I looked all over town, and I just kept circling back to that. It just screamed Vermont all over it. It's the vibe that I really like. We not only wanted to attract locals, but tourists as well. And I think if and when you do show up at any of the businesses, you'll be really impressed with what you see.
Why is it important to you to go ahead and obviously stock your shelves with locally grown and produced products? Why is that important to you?
Well, I believe that the money stays local and it gets passed around and grows throughout the community, and we all feed off each other. And I hope to attract people to West Brattleboro that will then help other businesses in that area, as well as potentially bring people into downtown Brattleboro.
It's we're lucky to live in this state because there is kind of this cachet with Vermont products. I wonder why. Why does Vermont seem so attractive once you get outside the state?
I just think Vermont has done a great job marketing, and it's not all marketing. I think we have a great state here and a great community, and it's one of the main reasons I have the word Vermont in all of my business names because it sells.
It really does, doesn't it?
It does.
And well, listen, I can't thank you enough for coming down here today. And again, is there anything you want to let people know about in terms of obviously Monday and going forward?
Yeah, I'd love people, even if you're not necessarily into cannabis, if you just want to come into the store and learn more about it and see what I've done, I should say me and my team have done, I would highly recommend it. It's a very comfortable space. It's not intimidating. It might not be what you think it is, and I think you'd be very happy and surprised at the end.
And let's give a shout out to some of those guys, because as I go over and I'm a customer at Vermont Epicurean, you have just a great staff of people over there. And I want to mention Jeremy and Steven, and a shout out to our Spencer. Great people out there. These are people that obviously people are going to meet, and obviously you just hired a staff that they will meet at the Vermont Bud Barn on Monday.
Absolutely. Jeremy's my general manager. He's been with me 4 years. Great guy. Couldn't have done this without him. Say the same for Steve and Spencer. Spencer's worked for me off and on over a few years. Steve is relatively new, but again, I couldn't have opened up without them. And now I've hired another 10 people to start off, and very excited about having them on board.
Well, congratulations to you. I have an indication how hard you have worked. No one knows how hard you have worked but you, but I have an indication, and you put a lot of time, a lot of emotional investment in this, and it pays off on Monday.
Yeah.
When you turn that key, huh?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. The day that I get to turn that key on that door will be a pretty amazing day in my life. If anyone wants to follow up, we're on Facebook and Instagram. You can see what's going on there.
All right. Are you sleeping all right these days?
Not that much, but...
you should try CBD.
Yeah, I should, yeah.
I know a place.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Scott Sparks, congratulations. These are amazing times. Scott Sparks from Vermont Epicurean, the Vermont Grow Barn, and opening on Monday, the Vermont Bud Barn. 8:39 here at the Brew. And scene.